Hey, what's up guys? Lord Kishi here from Nintendaily. Today we're gonna do a different type of video. It's not exactly Nintendo related, but we do things a little bit different here once in a while. So that's what's happening. So today we are going to be discussing the potential of a Persona 3 remake and what would it need? Or what could we use in a remake? So we're not going to go over the super obvious, like, yes, improved graphics, or one that could potentially even be better than Persona 5's graphics, since P5 was mainly developed for Persona 3 at first, so, yeah. And then a remade soundtrack and an overhaul to the battle system. So, yeah, we're just gonna get into the specifics of those, though. So first off, the UI. So the UI. In Persona 3, the UI was fine. It was simple, it was clean, it was nice. It had a color scheme of blue and black. It complemented the game really well. But how could we improve it? Well, you see, the thing about Persona 5, it was really complex, yet it stayed simple. It only had colors of black and red, but it was still really nice overall. So how could we take that but not exactly copy, like, just exactly what Persona 5s look like? Well, we could take improvements from what made the one in Persona 5 so good. Like, the transitions from screen to screen, they were really nice. Everything about the screen was different. You had, like, Joker's face changing, his body position. Now, you don't exactly have to do that with Persona 3 in the remake, but just a nice transition where it has all these details that really make you just look at the menu for a minute and be like, this is brilliant. So, yeah, something nice and clean like that, yet still complex. That's what the UI could use, so yeah. And next we're going to go over the graphics. So, what more can you do with the ability of how far you can go with the PS4's graphics? Well, as I said, Persona 5 was made for the PS3, so as well, I mean, if it's mainly developed for the PS4, it's granted it's going to be better, obviously. So there's not much more to say about that. I'm sure Atlas will be able to handle that on their own. They've been so far throughout their industry. Okay, next up is the soundtrack. Well, I feel like there are a lot of bangers in Persona 3. I think there still can be some improvements on the ones that kind of pale in comparison to the best soundtrack songs in that soundtrack. So yeah, and so far with Atlas, after their game's release, like a couple years later, they might release a remade soundtrack with a few select songs from that game, and most of the time they do with songs that weren't amazing in that game, but they made it even better in the remade soundtrack for that. So there's no doubts about that. I think they just take the time and care they put into those, there will definitely be a good chance of it being an all-time great as a video game soundtrack. So next up, the combat. So alright. So the OG combat in Persona 3 was flawed for sure. I mean, an RPG without being able to use your own party members, it seems strange at first. Then again, I'm pretty sure the reason Atlas did this, one of their reasons I think, was that it added more of a challenge to the game. While I agree, it also made the game broken at times. Like, you'll have Mitsuru using Mara and Karin out of nowhere when the protagonist is at like 1 health. It seemed a little strange, you know? So yeah, it being completely turn-based with being able to use all your party members, I feel like that would be obviously a perfect first step. as I said, Persona 5 has one of the best combat systems in this franchise so far. So, then again, we don't want to exactly copy what Persona 5 had. So why not take what P5 had, but improve upon it? So, from the baton passes, to the all-out attacks, all of those things could be improved. With all-out attacks in P3 and P4, they didn't exactly have customized art, detailed art for like each party member when they're the ones that initiated the all-out attack. So that could definitely be improved upon. Alongside with the all-out attack, in Persona 5 you had this mechanic where you interrogated the persona, or you could just all-out attack, or you could request an item from the shadow. So if you want to obtain a persona, you had to negotiate and converse with the shadow to obtain it, choose the right options depending on its mood. I feel like with Persona 3 they could implement that. Now of course, the whole theme about P5 was that you're a thief and you're interrogating the shadows, etc, etc. So that wouldn't exactly fit into P3, right? Well, a simple re-theming could fit with the whole game. For example, it could be like surrender your will instead of interrogate. And I forgot what it was called. It's on the screen for P5. So, yeah, just a re-theming would be good for that stuff, for anyone who's worried about that. And also improving on just general things that the devs found flawed in the first place. Didn't have enough time to fix. So, next up is the Baton Pass. I feel like the Baton Pass is already really solid, so why not take what's perfect and implement it into the remake? Yet still, I'm sure there are some things they can improve upon. In Royal, the upgraded version of Persona 5, there was ways you could enhance the buffs that the Baton Pass gave if you hung out with your party members and played darts and won a match of darts. That could be implemented into P3, but with different activities, of course. And that will bring me into my next segment, the social life aspect. The social life aspect was one of the first in the franchise, actually. From what I recall, it's not fully into P1 and P2. So, of course, they were just starting things out. So, why not just go all out in this one? So, for example, in Persona 3, you cannot actually have a social link with the male party members. No clue why. It was whatever though, and you could with the female party members. So, if we just do it, same for both, that'll be great. And also add abilities you get, perks from increasing the social link. That's what Persona 5 had. Of course, change it up. I feel like the difficulty of Persona 3 should still be kept. That's one of the main things about that game. That's what it's known for as well. So, yeah, definitely just change it up so there's still enhancements you can get from participating in those social links. But still, don't make it too much. Next up is a big flaw in the social link system of P3. So if you hung out with Confidant and you hung out with them the next day, you didn't get any points increased. Any. Of course, there was the shrine system and that one as well, but if I'm not mistaken, there was a chance that it could increase your social link, or it could totally not. So, as that was already pretty flawed, there wasn't an exact guaranteed way of getting through it. That's what made, doing a 100% run of that in New Game Plus pretty complicated, because not everyone knows that you can't hang out with them day after day. So, obviously there's a simple fix for that. Make it like P5's, how it still increases as you go. And in P5, even you could still hang out with them day after day, and it increases way faster than it did in the previous titles. So, add that type of stuff. It would be great. moving on to stuff besides confidence. More ways to increase your social stats would be pretty cool. There was only a few of things you could do to increase it in P3, like go to a restaurant, drink at the cafe, or go to the library, all that type of stuff. So a lot can be improved from that. More activities, something that's more fun. Like in P5 there was a jazz cafe and darts, as I said. So anything like that would just make the social life aspect of it all the more fun, because it is a major part of the game. Next up, we'll go for a little thing that would wrap up the game very nicely overall. The theming of Tartarus should still be kept dark in this one, because the overall theme of the game and the story is dark throughout the whole game. So, of course, you should still keep this, but Tartarus, man, there was 200 floors and only 5 different themes of the areas within those, and it got pretty stale pretty quickly, because say you're spending like 30 plus hours in there with the same 4 songs. They could just improve a lot upon that. So yeah, just keep the same dark aesthetic, but make it more vast, possibilities of what it could look like. Alright, so next up in conclusion, that's about it. Just key aspects I feel like the game should improve on. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, give some feedback. Either way, I hope this can spark some discussion. What do you think? What do you think should be improved? What shouldn't be improved? And with that said, I hope to see you in the next one, and have yourself a damn good one.